Ladies and gentlemen, let us confront a stark and unsettling truth. The world is not without its evils, and while many of us would prefer to ignore it, evil often creeps into our lives, disguised in charming forms, hidden beneath masks of respectability. The question is, how do we stop an evil person in their tracks? How do we safeguard our peace, our integrity, and the well-being of others from those who seek to destroy it? Recognize the signs early. One of the most crucial steps in preventing harm from an evil person is the ability to recognize the signs early. The evil person is not always an obvious villain. They often blend into society, masquerading as someone trustworthy, charming, or even helpful. But beneath the surface, certain behaviors always betray their true intentions. If we fail to notice these signs, we allow them to operate unchecked, gradually manipulating and influencing us until it's too late to undo the damage they've caused. At the core of an evil person's behavior is deceit. They may tell half-truths or create an image of themselves that is not based on reality. You may find that, over time, their stories seem inconsistent, or they exaggerate achievements in a way that feels off. The key here is to observe closely. Pay attention to inconsistencies in their words and actions. Do they tell you one thing and do another? Are they quick to deflect or change the subject when confronted with uncomfortable truths? Deceit is a hallmark of evil, and the ability to identify lies and manipulation early can prevent future harm. Another early sign to look for is self-centeredness. While we all have our moments of selfishness, an evil person takes this to an extreme. They believe the world revolves around them and often exhibit a lack of empathy. They fail to acknowledge other people's feelings, needs, or boundaries. Instead, they demand attention, validation, and control in all interactions. Their relationships are transactional. There's little room for genuine care or respect. If you notice a consistent pattern of them disregarding your needs or the needs of others, that is a red flag. Also, aggression in small doses is another key sign. You might observe them reacting to minor inconveniences with disproportionate anger, irritation, or frustration. This is often a precursor to more severe emotional outbursts, but it can begin subtly. Do they often belittle others or lash out when things don't go their way? Their temper may seem exaggerated, their sense of entitlement clear. This aggressive behavior is their way of asserting control, and it's important to recognize it early, before it escalates. Lastly, manipulation is a subtle and dangerous tool of the evil person. They might not come out and threaten you directly. Instead, they will use your emotions, your vulnerabilities, and your desires to twist situations in their favor. Watch how they behave when you express a need or a desire. Do they try to use it against you? Do they make you feel guilty, confused, or indebted? Manipulation is often masked by charm and politeness, but if you feel constantly unsettled or doubting yourself after interactions, trust your instincts. Recognizing these signs early allows you to protect yourself before they can cause significant harm. Evil doesn't always announce itself with loud warning bells. It creeps in through small actions, carefully crafted words, and hidden agendas. Being able to recognize the signs early, whether it's deceit, selfishness, aggression, or manipulation, gives you the upper hand, allowing you to set boundaries and respond before it's too late. Don't ignore the warning signals. Listen to your instincts and observe closely. It's better to act with caution at the first sign than to regret ignoring it later. Set boundaries. Once we recognize the signs of an evil person, the next crucial step is to set boundaries. Boundaries are not just physical limits, They are emotional, psychological, and moral lines that protect our well-being and preserve our integrity. An evil person will always seek to push those boundaries, to test how far they can go before we say enough. The power they wield often depends on our willingness to allow them to cross lines, whether it's in our personal space, our emotions, or our trust. Setting clear, firm boundaries ensures that we are no longer passive participants in their manipulation or harm. The first step in setting boundaries is identifying what is unacceptable. It's essential to know with clarity what you will tolerate and what you will not. For example, will you tolerate dishonesty, insults, or emotional manipulation? How far will you allow someone to overstep your personal space or emotional needs? These questions are essential to answer before you can establish boundaries. When we are clear about our limits, we become stronger and more capable of standing our ground when those limits are tested. Once we know what is unacceptable, we must then communicate our boundaries clearly and confidently. An evil person will often try to downplay your needs, dismiss your concerns, or manipulate you into thinking you are being unreasonable. But the moment they attempt to overstep, you must make your boundaries known. Speak assertively but calmly. Be direct and do not leave room for ambiguity. For example, if someone continually insults you or makes hurtful comments, you must say, "That kind of behavior is not acceptable to me." Do not justify your feelings or apologize for setting the boundary. Your boundaries are not negotiable. They are meant to protect you, and you are entitled to defend them. Setting boundaries is not a one-time event, it's an ongoing process. Consistency is key. An evil person will test your boundaries repeatedly, seeking to wear you down or make you feel guilty for standing firm. This is when strength and resilience are required. If they cross a line again, you must reinforce the boundary, often with more consequence. This might mean limiting contact, distancing yourself from the person, or if the situation warrants it, cutting ties completely. The more you let them push against your boundaries without consequence, the more empowered they feel to continue their harmful behavior. Emotional boundaries are just as crucial as physical ones, especially when dealing with an evil person. These individuals will often attempt to manipulate your emotions, seeking to make you feel responsible for their actions or guilt-ridden for taking care of yourself. You must remind yourself that their emotions and actions are not your responsibility. Do not engage in emotional manipulation or let them gaslight you into doubting your worth. Be firm in your resolve. Remind yourself that your feelings and well-being come first. One of the most powerful ways to set boundaries is through action. Words alone are not enough. An evil person may say they understand your boundaries, but if their behavior does not change, your next step should be to enforce consequences. If someone continues to be disrespectful or manipulative after you've set a boundary, don't be afraid to take steps to protect yourself, whether that means limiting your time with them, cutting off communication, or even seeking external support from authorities or professionals. Boundaries are not just about words. They are about action that aligns with your commitment to preserving your well-being. The process of setting boundaries is empowering, but it is not without its challenges. You may feel guilty at first, especially if the person in question tries to guilt trip or manipulate you into giving in. This is their strategy, to make you doubt your worth and your right to set limits. But remember, setting boundaries is a sign of self-respect, not selfishness. It is an essential part of protecting yourself from harm and maintaining your peace of mind. Ultimately, boundaries are an expression of self-love and self-care. The act of setting them allows you to prioritize your emotional and psychological health and it sends a clear message that you will not tolerate harmful behavior. While it may feel difficult at first, particularly when dealing with an evil person who tries to break your resolve, the strength you gain in setting and maintaining boundaries will only empower you to confront future challenges with greater confidence and self-assurance. Stand firm in your principles. When confronted with an evil person, the most powerful defense we can wield is the unwavering commitment to our principles. Evil thrives in the absence of moral clarity. When we waver or compromise, we make ourselves vulnerable. Standing firm in our beliefs and values is not simply a matter of choosing right over wrong. It is about maintaining our integrity, even when the pressure to conform or give in is overwhelming. Principles are the foundation of our moral compass, guiding us in moments of uncertainty. When we face manipulation, deceit, or cruelty, our principles act as our anchor, preventing us from drifting into morally questionable territory. It is essential to remain grounded in what we know is right, even if the evil person tries to undermine our beliefs, distort our perceptions, or convince us that we're overreacting. Our principles cannot be swayed by their lies or attacks. Evil often seeks to weaken or undermine our sense of self, trying to make us feel guilty for asserting our values or behaving with integrity. They may label us as naive, inflexible, or too idealistic, but these attacks are merely tactics to make us question our moral clarity. In these moments, we must remember that true strength lies in resisting the temptation to compromise. They want us to doubt ourselves, to believe that kindness is weakness and that standing up for what is right is a futile exercise. Standing firm in our principles also means maintaining a strong sense of self-respect. The evil person will often try to make us feel inadequate or unworthy of standing up for ourselves. They will make us question our actions, our ideas, and our worth. But it is crucial to remember that our principles are not up for negotiation. They are the very essence of who we are, and without them, we become susceptible to manipulation and control. Moreover, our principles create boundaries. They signal to others what is and is not acceptable. By staying true to what we believe, we demonstrate that we will not allow ourselves to be disrespected, belittled, or taken advantage of. This sends a clear message to the evil person. Their tactics will not succeed, and their influence will not penetrate. The evil person may attempt to wear us down, to exploit our vulnerabilities, and to manipulate our emotions. But our principles serve as our shield, protecting us from the corrosive effects of their actions. When we stand firm, we send a powerful message to the world that we are not easily swayed, that we will not be controlled, and that we refuse to let evil undermine our sense of morality. At times, standing firm may require immense courage. It may mean making difficult choices, speaking out in the face of resistance, or even walking away from relationships or situations that compromise our values. But the truth is that staying true to our principles ultimately empowers us. It strengthens our sense of identity and preserves our dignity. Each time we refuse to compromise, we reinforce our capacity to make sound moral decisions, and we take one more step toward defeating the forces of evil that threaten to corrupt us. Empower others to stand with you. When facing an evil person, one of the most important strategies is to empower others to stand with you. Evil rarely operates in isolation. It often spreads through manipulation, fear, and division. The individual may attempt to isolate their victims, making them feel alone and powerless. But when we unite with others, we increase our strength and resilience. creating a collective defense that no evil force can easily dismantle. There is undeniable power in unity, and it is through solidarity that we can build a force strong enough to confront and defeat evil. The first step in empowering others is to speak the truth. Evil thrives in an environment of silence and secrecy. Those who are manipulated or oppressed by an evil person often feel that they are alone in their struggles, that no one else will understand or believe them. By sharing our experiences, voicing our concerns, and speaking out against injustice, we allow others to see the reality of the situation. When others hear the truth, they are more likely to stand with us, to see the evil for what it truly is, and to take action. Silence is the weapon of the evil person, and breaking it is one of the most powerful tools we have in resisting them. Another crucial aspect of empowering others is creating a supportive environment. This isn't just about speaking out, but about fostering an atmosphere where those who have been hurt or manipulated feel safe to express their experiences. Evil individuals thrive on creating division and fear, but when we come together, we cultivate an environment of trust, understanding, and collective strength. By providing a space where people can share their stories, where they can find validation and empathy, we build a network of support that is far more resilient than a solitary defense. This collective energy is contagious. It inspires others to join, strengthening the collective resolve against the evil forces at play. Furthermore, empowering others means showing them that their voices matter. Often an evil person will attempt to disempower others by making them feel insignificant or unimportant. By encouraging those around you to assert their rights, to speak their truths, and to take action, you create a sense of agency and self-worth in them. The more people who feel empowered to stand up for what is right, the stronger the opposition becomes. No one is too small, no one is too insignificant to make a difference. Each individual has the capacity to change the course of events, and when we encourage others to act with courage and conviction, we expand the power we hold. In addition, by standing together, we can offer each other protection. A lone individual is often an easy target for an evil person who seeks to exploit vulnerabilities. But when we form alliances, support each other, and protect one another, we create a strong barrier against the evil person's influence. Strength in numbers ensures that no one is left vulnerable, and the risk of being manipulated or harmed diminishes. We are no longer isolated victims. We become a united front, with each person standing in defense of the other. This collective strength forms an unbreakable bond that evil cannot penetrate. Empowering others to stand with you also involves educating and preparing them. Often, evil people rely on ignorance and misinformation to maintain their control. By sharing knowledge, strategies, and resources with others, we equip them with the tools they need to recognize and fight evil effectively. When people understand the tactics used by evil individuals, whether it's deceit, manipulation, or coercion, they are better prepared to protect themselves and others. Knowledge is power, and when we share that knowledge, we multiply our efforts to resist and overcome. Together, through solidarity, support, protection, and shared knowledge, we create a force stronger than the evil that threatens us. Empowering others to stand with you is not just a tactical move, it is a moral imperative. It is through our collective strength and unity that we truly have the power to stop evil. When we stand together, we make the fight not just our own, but one for all, and that is a force that cannot easily be defeated. Use the law and seek support. When confronted by an evil person whose actions go beyond manipulation, deceit, or verbal cruelty, it may be necessary to use the law and seek external support. While the power of personal boundaries, principles, and solidarity is essential in confronting evil on a day-to-day basis, there are times when the situation escalates beyond what can be handled privately or through personal resolve. In these cases, the law becomes an invaluable tool in seeking justice, protecting ourselves, and holding wrongdoers accountable for their actions. The law exists for a reason. It serves as a safeguard for those who have been wronged, ensuring that those who commit unlawful acts face appropriate consequences. When you encounter a person whose behavior has crossed the line into criminal activity or severe abuse, it's crucial to recognize that you do not have to handle the situation alone. The legal system provides a framework for seeking justice and protecting yourself and others from further harm. Whether it's physical violence, emotional abuse, or financial exploitation, the law offers avenues for bringing these actions to light and ensuring that those responsible are held accountable. One of the first steps in using the law is documenting the behavior in cases of manipulation, harassment, or threats. A well-documented record can be the key to proving the severity of the issue and building a case. Keep a record of all interactions, whether it's text messages, emails, or notes on conversations. This documentation can serve as evidence if legal intervention becomes necessary. The law values concrete evidence. It is often not enough to simply claim harm has been done. You must have the facts to back up your case. In addition, it's important to recognize that seeking support is not a sign of weakness, but a crucial strategy. In the face of someone who is truly evil, support systems such as trusted friends, family, or professional counselors can help you navigate the process. Legal battles can be intimidating and emotionally draining, and it is essential to have a network of people who are by your side, providing emotional support and practical advice. Support systems offer perspective, help you stay grounded, and remind you that you are not alone in this struggle. The evil person may attempt to isolate you, making you feel as though you have no one to turn to. But your support network provides strength and resilience. Do not hesitate to lean on those who care about you. They can help you make difficult decisions, prepare for legal action, and offer encouragement when the path seems overwhelming. Additionally, professional help, such as legal counsel, therapists, or law enforcement, can provide guidance that is beyond the reach of personal insight. Seek legal advice from an attorney who specializes in the area relevant to your situation. A lawyer can help you understand your rights, provide advice on how to protect yourself, and represent your interests in court if needed. Therapists or counselors can offer emotional support, especially when dealing with the psychological effects of manipulation, abuse, or trauma. Law enforcement can step in when a situation escalates to violence or threats, ensuring that you are protected from harm. Each of these support systems plays a critical role in addressing the situation from a professional and legal perspective. Using the law is also a statement of empowerment. It demonstrates that you are not helpless in the face of evil. It tells the person who is trying to control, manipulate, or harm you that their actions will have consequences. You are asserting your rights and standing up for your dignity, refusing to let their malicious behavior go unchallenged. The legal system is designed to restore balance, to ensure that those who inflict harm are held accountable, and to prevent further damage from occurring. By invoking the law, you send a clear message that evil has no place in your life and will not be tolerated. Seeking external support and legal action should never be seen as a last resort. It is a tool that should be employed whenever necessary, When faced with an evil person who refuses to be reasoned with or confronted directly, the law and professional support are often the most effective way to bring about resolution, protection, and justice. Never underestimate the power of the legal system and external support networks. They exist for situations like these, to offer the help and resources needed to protect what is rightfully yours: your peace, your safety, and your future. In conclusion, confronting an evil person requires a multifaceted approach. Recognizing the signs early is essential to prevent further harm, enabling us to take action before the situation escalates. Once identified, setting firm boundaries protects us from their influence, while standing firm in our principles ensures we do not compromise our values in the face of manipulation. Empowering others to stand with us strengthens our resolve and creates a united front, increasing our collective power to resist. Lastly, when the situation demands, seeking legal help and external support is not only necessary but vital in ensuring justice and safety. Evil cannot be eradicated by isolation or silence, but through awareness, firm action, solidarity, and legal recourse. By utilizing these strategies, we safeguard ourselves and others, making it clear that evil will not be allowed to triumph in our lives.